Hey friends, let's talk about a really simple approach to recording guitar at home or wherever you happen to be recording guitar. It doesn't have to be at home, it could be in your car for all I care. I like to keep things simple because I find that if I spend too much energy in my engineering headspace, the musicality of what I'm trying to play will suffer, and a lot of times I'll shoot right past that zone of inspiration when I'm feeling excited about it. So I keep it simple. I tend to record one amp at a time, one speaker cab. I'm using a 112 cab for this video, and one microphone. And part of that is because I'm responding to the amp and the way that it sounds through the microphone as I'm playing. I'm mostly subconsciously adjusting the nuance of what I'm doing based on what I'm hearing. So if I were recording several mics or even several amps and someone changed the blend later in the mix, it could really change the shape and the color of the gesture that I'm trying to make musically. So to me, committing to one sound going down to one track is a happy way to work. And I find that that's not limiting me because I am continually adjusting based on what I'm hearing and what's fitting in the track. So today I'm using a Benson Dizzy Bird, which is a 1 watt amp with reverb, a Benson 112 cab that has a Fane A60 speaker in it, and a Shiny Box ribbon mic. And let me let you in on a little secret that maybe I shouldn't admit to the wider world, but I kind of hate the way that SM57s sound on guitar. I know that they are the ubiquitous guitar amp mic for all time, but I think they just sound like crap. And they have a certain pokey frequency range that you just can't escape from, and I don't always want that sound. I tend to like a slightly wider bandwidth microphone on my guitar amps. This Shiny Box mic is inexpensive, and I think it sounds really great. I also like an SM7 is a great option. There's a lot of good choices out there. I like something that's got a little more body to it and is less narrow. If I want to EQ that low stuff out later, I will, but I want to have access to it. I also like the way that ribbons color the mid-range of a guitar. I think it's just a really complementary sound. So keeping it simple, today the mic is maybe 5 or 6 inches away from the grill of the speaker cab, basically looking at the middle of the cone but angled down just a little bit. Your mileage may vary in this regard. Just mess around. Move the mic around. If you can, put on some headphones, turn them up fairly loud, and listen and experiment. This is a fairly good spot for me, a fairly consistent spot for me, especially with a ribbon mic that tends to have a lot of proximity effect, which means that the low end gets a lot more present and loud as you move the microphone closer to the source. I like to leave about half a foot between it and the speaker. It seems to work well. So give it a whirl. Okay, so my amp is on, and I also forgot to mention that I'm playing a lovely Ronin Coyote, which is sort of a short scale guitar, kind of based on the Jaguar platform, except it has these really great, beautiful open sounding humbuckers in it. And I'm using my pedal board. Right now, I'm just using a little bit of Diamond Memory Lane 2 delay on the signal. This is what it sounds like. So I've got a drum track from a previous video that I made. I'm just going to play some really simple guitar over it to see how this fits into the mix. Let's check it out. There you have it. Mildly improvised, slightly odd guitar, simply recorded.